Well, good morning, happy weekend. If you're watching this, it's Saturday morning when I'm actually publishing this, and it's been a while since I've actually done a video, and almost 10 days now, and I was on a roll just doing them, one a day. And actually, what ended up happening was I had so many great things appear in my life, and it completely has consumed my time. Um, some new business partners, some really great volunteers, a bunch of new friends. Um, Both my businesses, well, actually, three of my businesses are really jiving, and I've been spending a lot of time on them and having a lot of fun doing it. And what I realized is doing a lot of this work that I've been doing and doing these videos, not only does it enrich the people's lives that get to hear this stuff and actually take something away from it, but it's really brought about some amazing stuff in my own life. And I'm just so grateful for where everything's at right now. And I actually wanted to come back and do these videos in a little different format and give you guys some visual cues and a little bit more information. I've been working on getting that stuff together. But today I was reading The Spirit of Opulence by Thomas Troward. Probably the 10th time I've read it through. And it's a text that is just a 2-pager. It's really simple, but it was written in like 1906. So I can't believe this stuff didn't get taught to us in school and in our lives, most of us anyway. Some fortunate people got it, but it's just some really powerful information, and I wanted to share it with you. It's really good, and how it relates to speaking your truth, walking your path, and living an authentic life, and actually kind of what happens when you get detracted from speaking your truth by either the voices in your head that tell you you should or you shouldn't do things, or the voices with the people around you that hold you back and don't want you to be authentic and want you to be somebody else. So I was gonna just read just the first paragraph here to you guys and break it down for you in what it means to me and why it's so powerful, this information. So again, this is The Spirit of Opulence by Thomas Troward, and I'll upload a link for you guys and comment it here if you want to read the whole entire thing. It's just 2 pages when you print it out on 8.5 by 11 paper. But it starts out, "It is quite a mistake to suppose that we must restrict and stint ourselves in order to develop greater power or usefulness." And this is what we do a lot of times. So I'm going to read a line here or two, and then I'm going to break it down for you. This is what we do when we don't speak our truth. We actually stint ourselves. We restrict ourselves from being all that we can be. When we get that moment of fear that somebody's going to judge us or hold us back, that's actually what's happening, is we're restricting ourselves from showing who we are. He goes on to say, "This is to form the conception of the divine power as so limited that the best use we can make of it is by a policy of self-starvation, whether material or mental. Of course, if we believe that some form of self-starvation is necessary for our producing good work, then so long as we entertain this belief, the fact actually is so for us." So what he's saying here, with a lot of faiths say you have to sacrifice and you have to give up things, and a lot of us were taught as children we have to sacrifice and hard work, and that's what creates success. But if you're looking at it as sacrifice and hard work, it's going to be just that. But if you actually are walking your path and doing what calls for you and what's true to you and what you feel is important, all you have to do is look at it as a total joy. When I was building my advertising business and I worked crazy hours, I would work into the wee hours of the night, and well, actually into the morning, and get up, with maybe 4 hours of sleep if I was lucky. But I was so passionate, excited about it. It didn't feel like hard work. It didn't feel like sacrifice. It felt like so much fun. And the same thing's happening now, where I've got multiple businesses and I'm just running out of time to do things, and all of a sudden, like, the day is gone. It doesn't feel like hard work. It feels like it's so much fun. It's not this sacrifice I have to make. But if I look at it as one, and I'm giving up my time, or I'm working hard, then I'm gonna feel that way. We've also had a lot of beliefs taught to us in religion that we have to sacrifice for everybody else. And And that's not necessarily true. We want to give to people. We want to give with open arms and open hearts, but we can only give what we have, and that's actually discussed later in this text that I'm not going to get to now. But I will come back to that. So he goes on to say, whatsoever is not faith, that is, not in accordance with our honest belief, is actually sin. And by acting contrary to what we really believe, we bring in a suggestion of opposition to the divine spirit, which must necessarily paralyze our efforts and surround us with murky atmosphere of distrust and want of joy. So what, essentially, if you're not walking your path, that's as good as sinning. If you're not speaking your truth and showing your light and doing what calls to you and not being honest about that, you're sinning. Like, this is your life. This is your chance to be everything you want to be. This is your one go at it in this lifetime, right? You get one chance in this lifetime. So whether you believe in more lifetimes or not, this time around you have a mission. You have a calling. I prefer to call it a calling because there's something that reaches out to you that's important, and it's not going to be the same for everybody, right? We're all very unique, so we have different callings. The key is to support other people in what their calling is and not beat them down or tell them they should do it this way or that way. And I've been guilty of doing all this stuff myself. So, but really is to not judge them and support them so that they can speak their truth and they feel comfortable doing it. And as you do that, you'll feel more and more comfortable doing it yourself, if you don't already. So really having that authenticity of what you really want to share with the world is so incredibly important. What ends up happening is when you aren't authentic and you let those voices in your head creep in, or you let the people around you compromise your truth, it steers you off a path. It steers you off your path. It's like every single sign on the side of the interstate is showing you McDonald's, Love's gas station, Chewy's, there's all kinds of food, there's all kinds of attractions, but you're trying to get somewhere. And there's all these other things speaking to you, telling you, get off now, exit here, this is going to be the best pea soup in the world. And you get there, and maybe it is, maybe it's not. But if it's not part of your path and it doesn't speak to you, then don't get off the exit. Don't start rerouting yourself, because you're trying to get somewhere in life. You want to accomplish so many things, and there's only so much time to do it. Every time you compromise yourself, it's going to hold you back, take you off your path. And a lot of people never get back on that path, and don't let that be you. Be careful where you tread and what other people you listen to. You have your truth, and you know what that is, and you need to speak it. And as you speak it, the right people will show up that will support you with your truth. And it's happening to me again now, that I've got some more direction. I've got several new events now at Cycle Ranch that are non-motocross, and I've got great motocross events going on, but I've got the perfect people have been showing up at the perfect time, and it's just been amazing. And I believe fully it's because I've been doing this work. It's because I've been speaking my truth. It's because I've been sharing my bliss with others and these works that mean something to me for everybody else to take on with their life. So your mission is to speak your truth. And what calls to you? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be remembered as? So think about that this weekend. It's a beautiful weekend out here in Texas. I'm sure it is where you're at. Reflect on that. And are you being truthful, honest with yourself, and honest with those around you? And if you can't be honest with those around you, maybe you want to spend a little less time with them. Maybe you want to go a little less often. So I hope that helps with you. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back soon.